I am gonna do my absolute best to word this video the right way. Like, you ever had something in your head that you want to tell people and you know how to say it in your head and it makes sense in your head, but the way you're delivering it doesn't really make a lot of sense? I don't know if that makes sense, what I'm trying to say, but I'm gonna try to make sense of what I'm trying to make sense of. Today, we're gonna evolve Vinicius Jr., who really almost saved FC 25 for me, but at the same time, made FC 25 worse for me. Does that make sense? Okay, let me try to make sense. So I was chilling after I played my weekend league games, and I was kind of watching football, right? Football, kind of like the last weekend of football for a lot of leagues and cups and stuff. So I was just watching football, and I was on social media kind of going back and forth with the viewers and stuff, talking to everybody. Real quick, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Double A Not Skills. Welcome back to the Road for Champions RTG edition. And one of the homies was like, hey, Skills, man, do you know there's an evolve out right now that if you evolve your 92 Vinicius Jr., you can make him a 94 Vinicius Jr.? And I said, damn, I really want to do that because it's Vini Jr., bro. I could take Vini Jr. to a 94 rated card. And then on top of that, I could put inside forward as a left mid on him. This is perfect, right? And I started looking at formations to be able to fit all of my players in, to be able to get all my players, all the players I want to use into my starting 11. That's Lang and Bruma and Vini Jr. and Messi, Dembele. Okay, how do I build a team that can put everybody into the starting 11 and we can go have some fun? That's the key word, fun, on FC 25. So I start looking at formations, and that's when I stumbled across the 4-5-1. And this is where this is where I tell you that this card saved FC 25 for me, but then also made me almost low-key want to quit FC 25. I know that's not going to make sense to y'all, but I'm going to do my best right now to make sense to y'all, to try to make it make sense. I have Lang, Dembele, De Jong up top, Messi, Vinicius Jr. The players I want to be using, right? The players that I want to have a little bit of fun with. Now, the way I've always played FC 25, or excuse me, the way I've always played FIFA, especially FIFA 17, 18, 19, even 20, right? And then at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, it starts changing a lot. Now, what do I mean by it starts changing a lot? FIFA back in the day, and when I think about football, I think about football in a way where 1, 2, 3, 4 players in world football can play the game the way Neymar and Ronaldinho played the game. Skill moves, dribbling, all that. There's a uniqueness to that. There's a skill level to that, and only certain people can do that and do that well and be able to execute it well, right? And then there's a group of teams and a group of players that can really play the passing well. And when that happens in football, we go, wow, man, that's such a magical team to watch. For example, Barcelona back in the day, for so long, the way they tiki-taka. Now you have PSG that play a real pressing high line, pass the ball really well. Barca this season under Flick, pass the ball well, high line. Very fun teams to watch, right? Very enjoyable football to watch. That's the football that I try to implement into FIFA, into FCs. I've always been that way. I want to pass my opponent and press them and pass them until they have no idea where I'm going and I find an open shot. I'm not looking to outskill everybody. I've never been the Ronaldinho type in FIFAs. I've never been a person looking for a skill montage. I've never made skill montages. When I was coming up in the YouTube scene, skill montages were really big. I didn't do that. I was someone who played this tiki-taka football, and this tiki-taka football got me #1 in the world, got me the Interactive World Cup, got me into multiple different pro tournaments, not even trying to be a pro player, just from playing tiki-taka football, I was able to get there. And I went into this 4-5-1, and I remembered the glory days of FIFA. I remembered what it felt like, because as I'm getting older as a person, I definitely believe I'm becoming more washed, and the younger people playing FC are just better, right? When you're younger, you got better reactions. It's just proven in gaming. So I'm like, all right, I'm washed. But then I tried 4-5-1, and I said, damn, you know what? Maybe it's not so much me being washed and forgetting how to play FIFA. It's just FIFA has changed so much. FIFA's in this place where being in 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-3 in 4-2-1-3 or 4-2-3-1 or anything with two defensive mids and run around with a DM and play this anti-football, put a through ball, speed boost, you're in, down the wing, double pass into the back of the net every single time. It's become this. It's become a way of every game you go into feels so competitive, it feels almost like you're playing, and I don't know if y'all agree, and I told you I'm trying to make as much sense of this as possible. It feels like you're playing the same opponent every time when it comes to gameplay. It almost feels like everyone, defensively by the way, everyone is the same defensively. And then when people are in the 4-2-3-1, 4-2-1-3, it almost feels like everyone is the same offensively. You have two ways of playing. You're either going down your wing on the right wing, left wing, or you're going through the middle with the speed boost, and that's really where it comes down to. When I went into this 4-5-1, in this gameplay, you are going to see me play FIFA the way I used to play FIFA. The problem is it's impossible to defend. In this gameplay that you're watching right now, lads, I am going to go up 7 goals or 6 goals. I'm going to score 6 goals, and I'm going to go up by 3 goals, and within the last 10 minutes of this game, I'm going to choke it. Had I switched to a different formation, I probably would have seen this game out, right? And I didn't do that because I just want to play football. I just want to find something that allows me to play football. I don't want to run around with 2 defensive mids all the time. I don't want to run around with a bunch of defenders. I want to play tiki-taka football, bro. I want to move the ball. I want to feel proud of the play that I made happen. I want to feel real good. And playing this formation over the last 2 days has brought me a lot of joy, but I know for a fact that I'm not going to win a lot of games in rivals. I'm not going to get 15-0 in it because it's too easy to counter it. And I just think to myself how the employees at EA Sports like don't want this type of a game where you can get your midfielders involved and you can quickly pass the ball. And I don't understand why they want that slow pace, move around with a defensive mid play style. I don't know why that's a thing at the EA headquarters that they are proud of or want to be in their game. There's ways to nerf it, and they won't nerf it. But if you're watching my gameplay here, I'm in like that dark blue black jersey. You guys know what jersey I'm in. I'm like pinging the ball, and although yes, I'm messing passes up, I'm pinging the ball, I'm moving it nice. And yes, I still speed boost. Yes, I still do a step over into the box, shoot far post. Yes, I'm still doing the cheesy stuff, but the build up to get there, it feels a little bit better. It flows a little bit better. But what happens when you play this style, and this has been in every FIFA, you're committing a lot of players forward, so you're very, very vulnerable to the counter. You're very, 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 very vulnerable to the counter, which is, you know, for me, fine, right? Like if you watched Barcelona back in the day, they were very vulnerable. Even Barcelona this year with Flick's high press and the way they try to play like a quick passing football. When they lost the ball, they were very vulnerable to the counter. And their line was so high that an over the top, we saw Mbappe be offside 15 times in one game pretty much. And sometimes he got through and he was one-on-one because of such that high line, right? But there was an art to it. There was a beauty to watching it. So I'm not saying that I shouldn't be exposed for playing these formations, because you should be exposed, but you're too exposed. You're exposed to a point where, you know what I'm saying, if you don't man mark it perfectly, your opponent's going to score a goal pretty much every single time. And when you're in those defensive mid formations, you have so much cover and your DM sits so far back on the field that you really never have to switch into your center backs until you have to switch into your center backs. In this formation, you don't have a cover. You don't have a DM waiting to pick you up and hold you down and help you when you make a mistake. So you really got to turn into those center backs way sooner than you want to. You got to be in those center backs kind of instantly. So you're very, very vulnerable. But offensively, it's so damn fun, man. It's so amazing. Like, I'm telling you, lads, I've played this game the entire year, and I got this feeling about me when I was in this formation, when I was do those passing goals where you would go through like 5-6 different players before shooting the ball into the back of the net. There's feeling inside that you get that I can't really explain it to y'all. For y'all that are skillers, you might get it when you combine 4 or 5 skill moves in a row and bang it into the back of the net, which realistically in this FIFA, in these FCs, you can't even do that. This is like my big point of what I'm trying to say. EA Sports, the company, has nerfed amazing skillers, people that used to be able to combine 5-6 skill moves in a row to dominate their opponent and score. They've really nerfed those players. You can still do it, but it's very, very hard for you to do it. It's just not, it doesn't feel smooth. Skill moves don't come off nice. It's hard to combine a lot of skill moves at once. They nerfed that. They nerfed the Tiki-taka players. They nerfed the people who like to pass the ball and move the ball nicely, and try to really get all of their players involved and use the cards for what they are, right? Like, not just get a defensive mid and, oh, I'm rocking these defensive mids because they have anticipate plus or intercept. And that's, you're really thinking about just defensive mind football and low block football, is what it feels like these games are about. They've nerfed the quick passing players. They've nerfed the skill move players. So what's left? It's the go down the wing, speed boost, 1 step over, pass twice up top, shoot. Player lock a player into an opening and over the top it to them. The one time over the top into a striker to be one-on-one. This is where this game has gone and the way this game has been developed over the last few years. And it's low-key really depressing, because when I think about the beautiful game, when I think about football, man, I think about, like, you just don't think about it being so defensive. Like, you know what I mean? I know there's an art in defense, and I know there's a lot of people that are, someone watching this right now is a center back, and they love the clean sheets, and they love the low blocks, and they love that and stuff. But 80-90% of people who watch football, if you pulled up to the Manchester United Spurs game, you didn't want to see Spurs being so defensive after they got that goal and one team trying to break it down. And I know that's football, but those low blocks is low-key what I believe has made football, even real-life football, a little bit more boring over the last few years. Because I definitely think that as amazing as football is, over the last few years, football has lost a little bit of quality. And I don't think it's just because of low block teams. I think it's more because of the amount of games on these athletes' players, to where you're getting a quantity over quality when it comes to real life football. And again, that's just my personal opinion. So I think that the quality of football has kind of come down a little bit due to low block teams and due to players being tired for the amount of games they play. But then we're seeing that in FIFA's games, in EA's games, because you're seeing this what they want to be a simulation of real life football, but the simulation of real life football, I think, has gone a little bit too far. I think it's just the games are a little bit too defensive. So again, I found this joy, I found this amazing through Vini, and the whole point is I did this Vini SBC, and Evolve, and had I never done him, I probably wouldn't have looked for a formation to fit all these players into it. And I did, and I did it, and I had a blast playing it. But again, I did win. I won more than I lost, but I'm losing games that, for example, right here, 60th, 70th minute, the game's 6-3. The game should be over. I'm up by 3 goals. I lose this game. And I lose this game because once I allow my opponent to get one, I just couldn't get a grip of the game, and I was making too many dumb passes out the back. But right here, you see how my hullet's not dropping? I don't know if you guys saw that, but right there in the 71st minute, whatever, my hullet's not dropping to help my defense. Where in the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-2-1-3, look at where my hullet's standing right now. You see how he's not coming to help? In the 4-2-1-3, they come closer. Your Conte and your hullet will be closer to your back line. So there's less of a gap. So it's easier to defend. But that's boring, man. That's boring, because if they were to take that out, all of us would score more goals. Now, I know the casuals wouldn't be able to play the game, and maybe the casuals get upset, but look here. Look at the formation I'm in. Look at the gap, lads, from my defensive. Look at my midfielders and look how they're not moving. Look how messy no one's moving. No one's moving. And this is why playing the 4-2-1-3 is better, because those DMs sit right there, camped in front of your box, holding on to the holding on to pretty much holding your DM's pocket, your center back's pockets, and it leaves no room for your opponents to find finesse shots or nothing, which makes the game very frustrating for anyone trying to play an offensive game. So again, right here with 10 minutes left, I probably should have done better to hold the ball. I should have scored this here with Mbappe and the game would have been over. But I want to be an offensive-minded player. Right here on the counter, lads, like I told you guys, I have to turn into my thing. Look at my Hullit's not even coming back. Y'all see that? Because he's a center mid, he ain't even coming back. Hullit's like, I'm not even coming back. So you're punishing yourself for wanting to play an offensive-minded game. You're punishing yourself for wanting to play football. You punish yourself. Once again, watch my Hullet. Unless I turn into him and bring him back, watch my Hullet. Keep watching Hullet. Y'all see him in the middle of the park. He will not drop back. And just like that, I gave up silly goals. Don't get it twisted. I should have been on my Hullet, drop back with my Hullet. But I still enjoy the fact that the goals I scored in this game, even though I'm going to lose here, the goals I scored in this game felt good to me. And I enjoyed playing. Like, I wasn't upset. I never really got like frustrated. Nothing. I just wanted to play attacking football, and that's what I did. So will I stay in this formation? Probably, yeah, because I'm having fun with it. But I'm gonna lose a lot, lads. I'm gonna lose a lot, man. Look here. Look how open this guy is. Look how much space he has, bro. And I mistimed the tackle. And I deserve to get punished right there. But that's manually defending, bro. I mistimed the tackle, only have myself to blame. And I should have scored the goal with Mbappe to see it out. And I think I get one more magical chance in this game. And I just fluff it, I think. Yeah, right here. Yeah, see? He moved keeper. I broke his back line. He moved keeper. He saved it. I lose the game 7-6. A game I should have won. But again, at the end of the day, lads, I just want to play the game to have fun, to enjoy it, to love football, right? To play football, to simulate what I like to watch in real life. And what I like to watch in real life is goals and scoring. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and let me know if you think, because I do believe I'm washed. Like, let me know if you think I'm washed, or if you think this game has just gone in a way that's very different to what FIFA's used to be. And I'm not sure if it'll ever go full circle, but if EA Sports ever sees any of my videos or any of my clips, I hope they can just understand that I think as a community, as an audience, we would much rather have skill moves and have quick passing and have dope goals rather than watching two DMs just hold the pocket of a back line and there be no room or no space for anyone to do anything except for go down the line, pass it to your striker, cut back with your striker, pass it to your next winger, and then shoot crossbody every single time. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I love y'all. I'll catch you in the next one. Booyah, baby. We out of here.